All right, NFL fans, it's time for another Sunday for NFL week number 12 picks and predictions. And a big shout out to my brother who happened to win last week. He actually had a 13 out of 14 games. He won cleanly. He only got one game wrong. So kudos to him because I didn't, as you guys know, I did not fare nearly as well. But jumping into this week, how are we doing? Well, if you want to say 3 for 3 on Thursday Thanksgiving football, goddamn-lutely I did. I picked Buffalo, Dallas, and Minnesota all to cleanly win their games. Now, granted, to the few people that picked the Detroit Lions, and if I was a Lions fan or picked the Lions, I'd be abysmally pissed at some bad calls by the refs and also the fact that Buffalo did not deserve to win that game. I'm happy that I got the W, but I understand the frustration going into that game. It's no different than the Eagles versus the Commanders a couple weeks ago and stuff. Some games are terribly called, and a lot of missed calls by refs in the fourth quarter really shape a team's morale and shape the end result of a game a little too much sometimes. So I understand the frustration there with Buffalo beating Detroit. I would have gladly have taken that L to see Detroit beat down Buffalo because they're clearly in a slump and they are not the strongest. At this point in the season, it used to be Buffalo. At this point, I would argue that Kansas City is probably the strongest team in the AFC. But that's beside the point. We did pick Buffalo, and we picked the Dallas Cowboys to beat the New York Giants. And though it looked like it was a toss-up at any point and a lot of penalty proning, some good calls, some not, in the first half and the beginning of the third quarter, we really started to shape up and do what we do best, which is to showcase that we 40-3 the Minnesota Vikings last week was not just chance. It wasn't Minnesota. It wasn't bad calls. We are just a strong damn team, and we managed to pull that off. And then, of course, speaking about Minnesota, they managed to win out cleanly against New England Patriots. Though I know quite a few people actually did pick the Patriots. Not a majority, but about 10-12 people in the pool did actually end up picking the Patriots. So I think because of our thrashing of Minnesota, Dallas's thrashing of Minnesota last week, people lost faith that Minnesota is still an 8-2 team. You know, at the time, you know, they only lost 2. Let's not count them down and out. So I was smart and I got 3 for 3. But moving on to Sunday football, let's get right underway. Tampa Bay versus Cleveland, one of the hardest picks. I really wanted to pick Cleveland for this one, but I think I need to go with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for this particular week. I'm hesitant, and in all honesty, I might last minute change this one. I'll have to let y'all know if I make an addendum, but I think currently I made all these picks on Wednesday, and this is the pick I'm going with. I'm going with Tampa Bay, though I don't feel great about it. The next one I feel confident in, even though apparently Cincinnati Bengals versus the Tennessee Titans. Cincinnati is favorited, but I'm going with the Titans, and I think that's a clear choice. I think that's an honest, clear choice. I don't think Cincinnati has what it takes to beat the Titans. Then we go into Miami, and we have the Miami Dolphins, of course, against the Houston Texans. And though I do have a couple of reservations about maybe, Houston, they are a bad team, but they pull out some weird stops now and again. Maybe this is one of those weeks, but I'm not willing to chance it going with Miami. Then we have the Jets versus the Bears. Gonna go with the Jets. The Jets somehow have impressed me enough that I've been picking them more than I ever thought I would. I really can't deny it. And Chicago, guys, I don't know what you're doing, but you're looking no better than the Houston Texans right now. So, moving on to the next pick, we have the Commanders up against Atlanta. And though my streak was broken, Commanders over Falcons, easy pick for me. Jumping into the next game, this is the only other supposed upset this week. Once again, this is all provided by whoever. What is this site? Oh, Yahoo. This is all provided by, of course, the Yahoo pool. This is Denver up against Carolina, but in Carolina, and I'm going to go with the Panthers. Denver is favorited, but I'm going to be going with Carolina on this one. Even though the Panthers have let me down before, they let a lot of people down. Denver Broncos also let me down quite a bit too, and I think that since the rest of the week, I'm going to be honest with you guys, every other game, picking the favorites. I only picked 2 honest upsets. I'm looking at a left side bracket of the favorites and the underdogs, with only 2 being Tennessee and Carolina. So this should explain the rest of the week to you then, because we have Baltimore up against Jacksonville. Who do you think I'm going with there? We're going with the Ravens. And then we have the Chargers up against the Cardinals. Once again, I trust LA over Arizona every goddamn time. Seattle Seahawks up against Vegas, not in Vegas especially, and Vegas goddamn sucks. So we're going with Seattle. Kansas City Chiefs up against the Rams, and once again, the strongest current team with Buffalo on this slump has to be the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think there's a way to deny they're the strongest AFC team contender right now with Buffalo in their slump. So Kansas City Chiefs over the Rams. The Rams have been slowly declining, just painfully so, all year. I don't know what's going on with them. Hopefully they can bring it back, because I do like the Rams and I was happy to see them be Super Bowl champions. But yeah, it's just whatever they're doing right now, it ain't working. They got to work on whatever it is that's broken. San Francisco in San Francisco up against the New Orleans Saints. Probably one of the only harder picks this week. One of the only harder picks, because the Saints, sometimes they pull stuff out of their, realistically out of their ass. But it's not New Orleans, and San Francisco is strong. We're going with the 49ers. Eagles versus Green Bay, there is no question. There is no question. We go with the Birds on that one. And then finally, Indianapolis Colts up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Surprisingly this one, I'm going with the Colts. They have let a lot of people down this year, and Steelers somehow they every game, whether they're sort of like the Ravens in this regard. Sometimes they score 35 points and other times they only score 6. And you're like, where does that level of offense from before? But that being said, the Colts have been shaping up ever since they got themselves a new head coach and all that good jazz. And it seems like they will actually try to make up for the rest of the season by coming on strong here in the later half of the year. So I'm going with the Colts against Pittsburgh, though I do understand why and when people would pick the Steelers in this particular matchup. So those are the picks for Sunday football, week number 12 of the NFL. Let me know your guys' picks and predictions down in the comment section down below, and let's try to win a goddamn week. Let's go. I want my money. I'm hungry. Hope you guys enjoyed your beautiful Sunday watching some football, drinking some beer, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys back here next time. Have a good one. Hope you all had a fantastic American Thanksgiving. So, that being said, see you back here for week 13. Bye-bye.